Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new video here on FPL Now. Today we're going to be going over my final team selection for Game Week 2. There's been a ton of updates regarding Kwanzaa, Porro, Dominic Solanke. There's a lot of things to get into, so if you're excited for the video, drop a like down below. Leave a comment, what are your plans for your Game Week 2 team? Subscribe if you're brand new, and let's get into the video. So, starting things off, we're going to go over my defenders and my goalkeeper first. So we have Henderson, who's got West Ham at home, Trent, who's got Brentford at home, Robinson, who's got Leicester at home, and then Porro, who's got Everton at home. So, of course, I have already made my transfer this week from Kwanzaa to Robinson in order to avoid the price drop that did happen to Kwanzaa. He's now 4.4 mil. I was, again, a little bit... Again, it's risky going for an early transfer, and I was a little bit worried that Kwanzaa might still start, and if obviously that was the case, then it would be a little bit annoying. But it's actually come out today that Kwanzaa is injured, or he has been injured, and he hasn't trained or anything like that. So it's actually very, very unlikely that he's even going to start the Brentford game. And obviously when you've got Konate, who's absolutely fine to play instead of him, then why wouldn't you just play him alongside Virgil van Dijk instead of a defender who you hooked early in the last game, and he's been injured, and he's not trained? So yeah, all in all, it's actually worked out very, very well that I did get rid of Kwanzaa. And again, the only reason I did it was because if he didn't start, I would have just kind of had a bit of a deadwood player, really. For 4.4 mil with nothing in the bank, you can only downgrade to a 4 mil defender. So I didn't want to do that, so I took the risk early. Again, I do not like making early transfers. It's never really a good idea to do it unless there's certain circumstances like this where I had no money in the bank and I could only go to Robinson if I'd made the transfer early. But usually it's never really smart. And yeah, the fact that now he's probably not going to play, and again, he might not play again, is one of those where I got very lucky. I know that some people obviously held on to him, and fair play if you did. The news that broke today is very, very unlucky. And again, he might get his place back. You really don't know. It's just he doesn't look like he's going to be playing the Brentford at home game. So I'm very, very happy I went early for Robinson. The other issue I had in the defense this week was, of course, Pedro Porro. Now, it has been confirmed that he's absolutely fine as well, so I'm very, very happy. Everything's kind of worked out this week, and that usually doesn't happen in FPL. My transfer has gone well, and the other player that was injured is also now fine. He was seen in team training like a couple of days ago or yesterday or something, so I was a little bit optimistic about him. But yeah, we've just had the press conference, which is why I like recording these videos after the press conferences, at least for my players anyway, because it just kind of helps with that knowledge and everything going into the team selection. But yeah, Porro's fine. Obviously, Robinson's going to be good. And then we've got Trent as well at the back. So all in all, really, really good there. All nice home fixtures as well, especially with Henderson, with West Ham at home. I know there's been a few transfers with Crystal Palace players and stuff, but I'm still hopeful that he will get a few points before I do wildcard. I still don't have a clue when I'm going to wildcard. It might be around Game Week 6. I don't think it's going to be this early. I do need a plan to get Salah in from like Game Week 4 onwards, because I think Salah has like Forest at home and then like Bournemouth at home. So yeah, obviously two really nice fixtures, standout captain as well. Whereas Saka has like Villa, he has Spurs away and then City away. So it will be quite nice to move Saka into a Salah, but obviously I'll have to find the money for that somewhere, and it'll cost transfers as well. So the only way I could probably do that is by getting rid of Haaland, and that's another whole question to kind of get into. But either way, that's the back line and the goalkeeper. Pretty confident with those going forward. In the midfield, I've actually made a bit of a swap. I brought Smith Rowe in, who's got Leicester at home, over Nkunku, who's got Wolves away. Now, I'm not completely settled on this at all. Nkunku did play like 57 minutes last night. He won a penalty. He scored the penalty. He looked absolutely fine. The only other thing that is also a little bit in Nkunku's favour for him to start is the manager has literally just come out saying that João Felix probably won't play, and that no, João Felix might feature and like Neto won't play or something like that. So obviously that does help with Nkunku's minutes, obviously, because it looks like he might start. But even if he does start, he could always get hooked before the 60th minute. He's played twice this season, and he's gone off before 60 minutes both times. So if he doesn't do anything, and I mean, a Wolves away isn't exactly an easy fixture as well. It's not a fixture that I'd be like, oh, I definitely need that player. Like if I had someone like Cole Palmer or someone who also is an injury doubt, by the way, then I'd obviously play him. But when I've got somebody like Smith Rowe who's got Leicester at home, I'm pretty confident he'll start. He's not going to play 90 minutes, obviously, but Nkunku probably won't either. And I just feel like the home fixture for Smith Rowe in that Fulham side is going to be quite nice. So that's why I've currently got Smith Rowe, and again, I'm not completely convinced. We'll obviously do the deadline stream tomorrow, and we'll see what we end up going with there. But I think Smith Rowe is definitely edging towards the final starting 11 over Nkunku. The other options, obviously, Diogo Jota, who's got Brentford at home, who actually just had a price rise, and then Eze, who's got West Ham at home, and then Saka, who's got Villa away. But yeah, quickly, also on the Cole Palmer thing, because I didn't actually explain the injury, he came off with like a sort of a hamstring kind of niggle or something like that, but they said they've checked it, he's fine, and he should be all right to feature on Sunday. So if you do own Cole Palmer, I would still start him, and yeah, he should be fine, but obviously he did have that slight hamstring thing. So again, maybe if he plays, he might like, I guess, make it worse or something. You really don't know. But they've said he's fine. They said he checked it, everything like that. So it should be all good. But yeah, all in all, midfield looks okay this week. The only tough fixture really that I've got in the midfield is Villa away for Saka. But I feel absolutely fine playing him. I'm not going to be playing Nkunku over Saka or anything like that. Saka is definitely the talisman that is in my team. But yeah, Smith Rowe with Leicester at home, Eze with West Ham at home, and then Diogo Jota with Brentford at home as well. Again, because of that price rise, as well as Darwin Núñez not featuring in the last game, I'm pretty confident to hold on to Diogo Jota for a little bit anyway. He might just be the out-and-out like first choice kind of striker in this Liverpool team. And if that's the case, then obviously he's incredible value because he's 5 mil cheaper, well, I guess 4.9 mil cheaper now, than Mo Salah. Of course, he's nowhere near as on the kind of level as Mo Salah, but if you've got like a striker playing for Liverpool that's like, you know, 7 odd mil and he's playing every single game, that is too good to kind of miss out on. And it also allows you to then bring in like Trent and Haaland and stuff like that. So yeah, very, very happy with that midfield. And then up top, we've got Muniz, who's got Leicester at home, Haaland, who's got Ipswich at home, and then also Isak, who's got Bournemouth away. So very, very happy with how the team looks right now. There's not really any fixtures that I'm worried about. You know, Saka, I know Villa away is tough, but I'm still like not crazy worried about that fixture. It looks really nice on paper. The other thing to think about is whether to triple captain Haaland this week. Now, it has been confirmed that Rodri will not feature in that Ipswich game, so I know they still played well against Chelsea, but I'd always feel a lot more confident like starting Haaland with Rodri behind him. You know, he's just so kind of prolific in that role. So the fact that he's not going to be starting, it doesn't exactly make Haaland triple captaincy a bad option. Obviously, it's a newly promoted team. It's at home. It's Haaland. He's a robot. It just, I don't know. I feel like I would be much more kind of happy if I had Rodri starting with Haaland. But we'll have to see what happens. I'm not going to be triple captaining. I don't think there's anything wrong with it this week. If you think he's going to bang in 5, then, you know, triple captain him. Nobody really knows. I'm just going to save it for a double game week. I know that they're going to be kind of a lot less in this season, but there's still going to be some. And if I can get Haaland in a double game week who's got some nice fixtures, then I feel like that will be the time to triple captain him. But yeah, Muniz with Leicester at home. Again, him over Chris Wood hasn't worked out so well at the moment. I think he's like 7 points behind because I think Chris Wood took the 3 bonus in that last fixture as well. So going to need a big performance against Leicester for Muniz. And then yeah, Isak with Bournemouth away. Really unlucky last time with obviously that red card, but should be absolutely fine. And obviously Wilson's still out as well, so I'm not worried about Isak starting. And then yeah, the bench is Ward, who's got Fulham away, Nkunku, who's got Wolves away, Ben-Mee, who's got Liverpool away, and then Johnson, who's got City away. So yeah, the bench does not look good at all. But I'm not really worried about any of these players not starting now. I feel like the only one that I'd maybe be a little bit worried about would be Nkunku, but if I'm playing Smith Rowe over him, then obviously I don't have to worry about that. I mean, Smith Rowe should I think he's just going to keep starting, and he's just going to gradually get his minutes higher and higher and higher. And Leicester did not look good in that first half against Spurs, and they were at home as well. They're at the King Power, so I think Fulham will do well against Leicester. I don't know. I feel like playing triple Fulham is very weird. I don't think I've ever owned triple of a team that's like not in the top 6, but this is how it's gone. I mean, they've got really nice fixtures. You know, I'm not going to back down away from these fixtures. They've got Leicester, Ipswich, and West Ham in the next 3. Obviously, Newcastle's a little bit tough, but then they've got Forest. And if I do wildcard around game week like 7 or anything, I can just offload them all then. So I feel like a lot of people are probably going to be going to Muniz as well now that Solanke's definitely injured. And obviously Richarlison's starting over him. I think Muniz is a really good option. Obviously Chris Wood is as well with Southampton away. But I think with that Leicester at home fixture, I think people are going to be kind of going more towards Muniz there, which is obviously fine because I already own him. So yeah, I have already used my transfer this week though. I would love to have rolled a transfer this week. I really would. I don't think I've ever spent a transfer game week 1 since playing FPL, but it is what it is. You can't help it. But it did end up being the right decision because Kwanzaa is obviously injured and he's lost a bit of money in him as well. So either way, that's what the team looks like. Obviously, moving on to transfers, there's not really much to talk about. I have already made my transfer this week, you know, 0 in the bank, 15 out of 15, 0 free transfers, 0 points, something like that. But yeah, I'm not gonna take a hit this week. There's no need. Like, the only reason I would have took a hit would have been because of Paro, but I don't need to now. I'm fine having him. Next week's going to be a little bit more interesting though, because obviously Paro is going to have Newcastle away. Again, would have loved to have played Ben Mee that weekend, but he might not even play. So I'm definitely going to look out in that Liverpool game. If he starts, then happy days. I'll probably just bank him starting against Southampton. But if he doesn't start, may have to use another defender transfer, which won't be ideal, because then when game week 4 rolls around, I'd probably have to take a hit to bring Salah in, because I won't have the funds to go from like Saka to Salah, because I don't think I'm going to be able to like find 2 mil from anywhere. So yeah, that's the only issue, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully Ben Mee starts, and I'll be able to easily bring Salah in. But either way, if you enjoyed the video, drop a like down below. Let's try it at 50 likes. Leave a comment. What is your Game Week 2 team looking like? Subscribe if you're brand new, and until next time, peace.